What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the long-awaited double episode of the Movie Mob Podcast, where we're reviewing House of the Dragon. We missed last week due to some scheduling issues, but this week we are reviewing episodes 7 and 8 of what we thought was going to be the greatest series of all time. Joining me, my name is Nick, and joining me in studio is the wonderful and glorious, very strong, both physically and mentally very strong,
thanks, man.
Matt Sampson.
Oh, that was very nice of you to say. I appreciate
Thanks
that.
for joining. And RJ's here, too. I'm just kidding. Also live from Westeros, straight from the Iron Throne, a dear friend of mine, and somebody who's going to lead us along this journey of these last two episodes to keep us on track, because I could just go on and on. RJ Carreri, thank you for joining us, buddy.
Thank you. Glad to be here, you know?
Glad to have you. We're going with
let's
glasses.
get into it.
We're going
So,
with
yeah,
glasses
so-
today. We got some. Look at what's going on.
Yeah, I've been trying the contacts. You know, sometimes it's not good for your eyes, Nick. You know,
RJ, glasses, smart and sexy. You know,
Thank
Allie's
you.
a very
Thank
lucky
you.
lady.
I got these new pairs from Cabot Street Eye Doctor, right up your neck of the woods,
That's
man.
right. That's right. Little Lavic
right.
in there. What's brewing? Shout out.
Thank you.
Yep.
But let's get into it. So we get 2 episodes here, right?
We do.
That's right.
But not too much happened per usual in the 7th episode. So I have 2 things I think were worthy of note.
Okay.
And the first one would be Daemon. He finally secured the support of the Riverlands.
Yes.
You know, he had the Tully grandson came in, and then he was forced to behead Lord Blackwood in front of them to earn their support. So finally, like, an end to that plot line, the whole reason he went to Harrenhal. It only took 7 episodes and 16 dream sequences, but we got there. But what'd you guys think of that?
I honestly, I thought that was one of the best scenes of the season. That specific scene, and honestly, by far the best scene of that episode. I thought it was an awesome, because he's kind of been like, kind of shafted that kid early in the season, and then the kid came into power, and you're right, you think, all right, he's going to be like intimidated by Daemon, you're like, yeah, but no, the Tullys, they're pretty honorable, they come from the old ways. I don't know what they say, but they're pretty old school.
The old gods, yeah.
The old gods and the new, and and he's like, listen, Daemon, like, everyone hates you, like, you're kind of a prick. You need our army, you know what I mean? Like, we'll give it to you, but, like, cut the shit, and we're gonna, like, behead this guy that you put. I tell you, that guy got screwed. The guy who got beheaded.
He did.
Because, like, he just did what Daemon told him to do, and he's like, Daemon, what's up? And Daemon's like, listen, I need an army, man. Like, tough luck.
Hey, he took one for the team.
I guess. Yeah. That was a great scene, though. That kid brought his A game. That was a really good scene. Yep. So,
Nick, what'd you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, I've never been more disappointed in a series in my entire life, ever in my entire life. It's so long and drawn out and boring. And I know we're gonna get into it. RJ, just save me until we go into episode 8, okay? And
well, that's what I'm saying. What did you think of that specific moment?
The fact that we're talking about specific moments as opposed to the show in general is what's aggravating me. You know what I mean? Yes, that one specific moment, it was an interesting character. It was the if you go to college, I didn't, but I've watched these lectures online sometimes. The philosophical dilemma, moral dilemma. You have a train that's on 2. It's going to divide into 2 tracks. You got to pick which way to go. On one side, there's an old lady. On the other side, there's 5 children. Both sides, they're tied to the tracks, and you can't stop the train in time. Which way do you go?
The old lady all day.
Okay, whatever. My point is, you need the army. Fine. Does the guy deserve to die? I don't know. It was a cool scene. Sure. Fuck the whole show. I don't care. I don't like this show anymore. I'm very aggravated, RJ. But no, the scene was cool.
Wow.
It was a good moment. I wish they had shown the fruits of their labor for cutting off the head, but we didn't.
I would agree with you there.
That's all.
I
that's
do
all
love
would
a
say.
good. Matt, you'll probably agree here. There's some great beheading scenes in Game of Thrones.
great beheadings.
You had like the Theon one.
Dude,
you had Jon Snow.
The best beheading scene in the whole. Like, I'm not. I watch it. Like, sometimes I watch it before shoulders to get hyped. Is when they're in the fucking rain and Robb Stark behead. I think the Karstark guy, and he like turns to Robb and I don't know what he says. Like, you lost the war, or like whatever. and he beheads him. He clenches his fist. He's walking out in the I'm like, that's a king.
Sure.
Yeah, that's when he like walks away and the fire's in the back.
Oh, dude, he dies like 5 episodes later. But what a scene!
Yeah,
what a scene.
I think he said like you lost the war the minute you married that girl or something.
He was right.
Yeah.
But dude, that's you're like, that's a king. Like, that's a scene. You know. You're right. No, a lot of good beheadings in Thrones. Even Ned, the episode 1. You know, big moment.
Yeah, beheadings are a big deal. Huh?
Yeah, in Thrones,
we love a good beheading.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Good time.
No head here though.
I'm gonna relate this show to something. I have to cut out the analogy from the episode, but I'll keep in your reactions. So I'm sorry about this, but you know what this show reminds me of? This season reminds me of. You know, there's nothing.
A lot of blue balls.
There's a lot of fucking blue balls on this. Do you agree?
Blue balls hurt, man.
They do.
Yeah, sickening almost.
RJ, do you agree with my analogy or no?
In regards to this season,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. No, not the whole show. Season 1 was great.
I agree.
Yeah,
the whole season felt like a trailer for season 3. You know,
dude, and that's such a problem.
Which is not great. You know, you're right. It's a whole lot of blue balls,
especially the finale.
The whole thing felt like a lot of it all felt like a lot of filler and build up to a big moment that like didn't happen.
Go ahead, RJ. You have more. I can tell your answer.
Yeah, well, this is the last thing before we get into the finale.
Sure.
So the big thing that happened is obviously Rhaenyra called basically all the potential Targaryen bastards to Dragonstone.
Yes.
To try to see if they could claim the dragons.
Yes.
Vermithor and Silverwing. I think this was honestly the best moment of the season. I thought this was done really well. And again, like we can talk about it more, but I think they could have built up to this way better throughout the whole season. But we finally got an answer to why we were watching that guy, Hugh.
Yeah, right.
He's actually the first cousin of Viserys and Daemon, which I thought was interesting. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I actually didn't see that coming. But I kind of wish they, again, built this plot line up a little more. Like, he kind of mentioned that his daughter ended up dying and they never even showed her die.
Yeah, no, they just kind of threw that in there, like, oh, the daughter. I feel bad for, you know what I'm hoping for? I'm hoping his wife's okay. I liked her.
Right.
She seemed like a nice supporter. She seemed like a nice wife. You know,
Yeah, very supporting.
Yeah, very nice. So I hope she's okay.
Yeah.
No, but RJ, I agree with you. I thought that was the best part of the episode and one of the best parts of the season. I thought that was really cool. Like, you know, they brought them all in and like, I like how Rhaenyra is just like, all right, that's all I have to say. And then she like watch the peasants in her luxury box. Sweet. You know what I mean? Like she's like, all right, you guys gonna die, you're gonna die, and I'm gonna just watch up here, you peasants. I thought that was really cool, kind of like seeing that whole dynamic. Like they brought up, I thought the concept was pretty cool too. So I definitely agree. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it was cool.
I mean, did you see that coming, Nick, at all?
No, I didn't.
We were
I'm so disappointed in the thing as a whole because, you know, when you have things like the sneaking into the Red Keep. You know, in the earlier on in the season, and then you have stuff like that, that scene which was really good, but you don't have scenes like the daughter passing away, or you know, there are other plot lines with characters that I feel could have been built up, and I feel like probably 50% of the footage that was shown to the public could have been replaced by footage that mattered. Does that make sense?
Yeah, they chose the wrong things to focus on. 100%.
Right. I think overall, and then here's the other thing too. If you're gonna have a big battle in the middle of the season, you got to have a bigger battle at the end. If the whole season had been no battles, we would have still complained. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, had they used that battle with Rhaenys and on the Dragonback, whatever it was, yeah, all that crap. Had that been the final episode of the season and they had focused more on the other stuff beforehand or whatever the situation is, then it's like, okay, you end on a high note. You go, that was dope. Let's see what happens season 3. The problem is you blew your load too early in the season. And so now all of this, like, it's just a big cuddle sesh for the rest of the shit. You know what I mean? It's a big, like, okay, all right. Oh, it's nice. They cut his head off, whatever. It doesn't land as much as a large battle is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? These little tiny moments. And by the way, nothing happened with any main character that we thought would happen.
That is true. Yeah. There weren't really, Rhaenys was really the only big death.
That's it. And then you have...
not even Aegon. You know,
what's Rhaenys' husband name?
Corlys.
The guy spent 7 episodes putting stuff on a boat. Where'd the boat go? What happened with the boat?
That's building it, you know.
But you see what I'm saying? Like it's like why did we spend the time on this? Why did we waste the time on this? And then there's these random, and I get it. I understand that in future seasons these things will be explained, but I'm just saying this is how you make bad television.
Yeah, there's a lot of blue balls, a lot of build up. I'll say this: I feel like I was thinking back on every season of Thrones, and I feel like because obviously it's a continuous story. But I feel like every season they kind of gave you some sort of resolution.
It's quite the mug there, RJ.
To what was was happening at the end of every. Wait, what kind of mug is that?
Yeah, hold that up again for the folks at home.
Allie just bought it.
It's a Kamala mug. I'm good. I'm just kidding.
No, it's a nice looking mug. It's very nice.
Thank you.
Go.
No, at the end of every season there was like some sort of resolution for what happened in that.
True.
Ned, died. He got his head chopped off. The Battle of Blackwater, Red Wedding, the Watchers on the Wall. Like there was always, for what was going on that season, there was always some sort of resolution. I feel like that didn't kind of happen here. It was kind of, they just like left you like, all right, like let's go, in the season 3, which is too bad. That said, I know we're going to get into like the last episode. I think if you look at it as a standalone episode, like I think it was actually, like it was fine. Just not fine as a season finale.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Well, I have a caveat there. Had episode 7 been this big grandiose thing, that's what I was expecting. I was expecting you have a big moment and then you have a little cuddle session.
That's what Thrones would do. They would kind of they'd blow your dick off season 9.
Yep.
You talk about blue balls, it'd be cum shots everywhere.
Right.
The room would be filled white.
Right.
Okay. And then 10, you clean it up.
Winter's coming.
10, you clean it up. You're like, all right, let's clean this up. Let's get back on track.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? For next go around.
Right. And that brings me to the question, RJ, why, and I know we have more. I know you have more. Calm down. We're going to get there. It's a longer episode this week, but I have questions for you. One, why didn't they do that, RJ? Why did they make it? Why did they make it an 8 episode instead of a 10?
RJ, tell us.
It's all your fault, RJ.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, tell us, RJ.
What I was going to say to Matt's point before I do that.
Go ahead, go.
Thanks, man.
About how Game of Thrones had a resolution.
Yeah.
In retrospect, now that this season's over, I think, because remember, we really liked the first 2 episodes, right, of this season. I think we.
But did we actually? That's my question.
I think we did, and then I think it was episode 3 where we felt like it got slow. You wanted another battle.
We didn't have any battles.
4.
Episode 2, they skipped the battle. Or episode 3, they skipped the battle. That's what I was pissed about.
But then we got it in 4. I'd argue that they probably should have done that, Rhaenys' death in episode 3.
Yep.
And then I think from there, the through line through the whole season should have been, we just lost the dragon. We need to find more riders. And then they could have built that up. And then I felt like that if it ended with that scene of Rhaenyra facing Aemond with all the dragons behind her, that would have been a way more satisfying end to me.
Yeah,
right? Because you actually have a resolution. She gained these 2 riders in Hugh and Ulf, and then what's the other brother's name? Addam. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that, like going out on that scene, that moment in particular, would have been nice.
I also heard that the kiss that we talked about last time.
It was unscripted.
Yeah, unscripted and so here's the thing with unscripted moments, okay? If they help the show, keep them in. If they don't, and they change the characters entirely, why are we keeping those in? Why not do another
take? That's just a bad directing decision.
Bad directing, bad editing, bad everything. It was really, really disappointing.
It's pretty random.
And everyone in the comments on our last video, we appreciate it, seemed to agree with that, though.
Oh, well, that's my point, RJ. We're not, like, sometimes I have hot takes that are crazy. Sometimes Matt says some things that are out of left field. Sometimes you have, takes that are just wrong. My point, though, is that everything that we've said over the past 6-7 weeks, whatever it is, has been right in line with all of the rest of the public so far, being like, what the hell's going on? Now, I will say in the comments, thank you, Eden, and thank you everybody who's been commenting and watching the show, but Eden has been giving this a little bit more leeway as far as I know, saying like, hold on, they're going to set this up. They're doing this a little weird, but they got to set this up and set this up. I don't have time. What are we doing? Do we have, and Aiden, thank you. I genuinely appreciate it. But I'm just saying, what are we doing with regard to these setups and everything else? Set it up, knock it down, build it back better. No? Am I wrong?
But I think no. I think the build-up's fine, but I think they're not doing it right. They're not properly building it up. They're not focusing on the things that should have been focused on it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
But what you were saying earlier about why did they do 8 episodes? I have no idea. Because to be honest with you, season 1 felt bigger budget than this did. Would you agree?
Yeah.
And that was supposedly the argument, I would assume, from HBO's perspective is, listen, you want more money to do more stuff, you're going to cut it back 2 episodes. And I didn't feel that budget at all.
Yeah, they probably just
Corlys. Yeah. Okay, he had a few scenes on Dragonstone, but that fucking guy was on that ship boardwalk the entire season. Every single scene with him was there. I mean, Nick, from a film production perspective, that screams like we don't have enough money to have multiple sets. We're going to use this one set 17 times. What?
It's a big...
That's something we do with like $500 budget.
Oh yeah, so I saw a report. You guys talk about like build up and them wasting time, like with Corlys, watching the ship being built the entire season. I saw a report. I don't know how true it is that, like the plan is, and this is what they're going to do: 2 more seasons and 16 total episodes left. So season 3 and season 4 each being 8 episodes, like this one, and then that would be it. So they do 2 more seasons.
And what's funny is George said that he felt that they needed 4 seasons of 10 episodes. So they don't listen to him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, listen.
Why change the formula?
Yeah. I mean, if you can do it, like, it's fine, but like it seems like they can't, so I agree.
Especially after the success of the first season. I'm a little shocked.
Well, even Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Look at Thrones. See, everyone says
right.
fell off after season 6.
Hold the phone, everybody. Hold on here. So this is what I'm trying to say. Game of Thrones was a huge success, except for season 7 and 8. Agree or disagree?
Which had shorter episodes.
Yeah, that's when they start to fall off. Season 7 and then season 8 was like, ooh.
Right, but from a production standpoint, if it's your millions that are like your personal millions, somebody comes up to you and says, I got an idea for a show. You go, okay. How much do you need? They need $20 million an episode, as an example, right? If you have big success up until season 6 and then 7 and 8, you see all these people going, this is dog shit. This is fucking horrible. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then somebody comes up to you and says, hey, got a spinoff idea. Okay, fine. But I would have started season 1 with 8 episodes then if I'm the money guy. What I don't understand is why they were allowed to have 10 episodes for House of the Dragon season 1. It got great reviews. People were pumped about it. And then season 2, they want more money but less episodes.
It's going to be a showrunner's decision, right?
I think it's an executive producer decision. I think it's somebody with money or somebody who said these are the terms that I'll agree to. But what I don't understand, and now the thing is, I guarantee you that something now shifts with season 3 and season 4 regarding production. It's either going to be episodic, that there's an issue. There's going to be a monetary issue. There's going to be something that goes on because this was a shit season in comparison to season 1. Season 1, we were all pumped. You know what I mean? To like come back and talk about season 2. Yeah. Season 2, we have not. I don't think we've had maybe one episode, maybe episode 4.
Yeah.
With the Rhaenys
battle. That was their big like what's up episode.
Yeah, but it's too early in my opinion. That's all.
Yeah. I will say, like, I haven't looked at viewership numbers, but apart from the finale, it seems like the season was overall like pretty well received in terms of reviews. So I don't know how many people are in our camp as much.
Is that critics or fans? Because like
critics.
Okay, because everyone I talk to,
blow me with the critics.
Not that I talk to everyone, and like I don't know, a lot of my friends like just think like us. So like maybe it's just my friend group.
Birds of a feather.
Yeah, but like I'm gonna chat with John Han and Tim and Kyle. Shout out, great guys. They literally all feel exactly like we do. They're like underwhelming.
So that's not a good sign.
Like big drop off from season 1. They're like it was fine, but like it was definitely like underwhelming.
And the thing is that people in general, not our viewers, not us, but in general, people are dumb. Okay, the general public is dumb.
Yeah.
So why do I mention that though? I say that because people are going to start to think that this is a representation of the entire show, and so you're going to have a tremendous drop off. Nobody knows drop offs like I do.
Yeah.
Tremendous drop off for season 3. Okay, because of the bad administration of season 2. So you're going to have people that would have come back for season 3 You know, but now they watched season 2, and now they're saying that they're not going to come back for season 3 because of the bad way that this was done.
I see what you're doing.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Tremendous viewership. The most viewership, I would say, out of any show ever was season 1, and now season 2. You know, not as much. Not as much.
I just think with HBO, like
season 1 had so many viewers. Some might say too many viewers. Not me, but some people might say too many viewers. Go ahead, RJ.
I was gonna say, I think with season 1, I'd say season 1's a 9 out of 10, right?
Sure.
Thanks.
Sure.
And I think that coming off Game of Thrones, that was pretty impressive that they were able to like keep the energy that high, and it wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good.
Pretty good.
But like, if you're HBO with the money you have and the reputation you have, like you deserve to be criticized higher than most, right?
Absolutely, man. It's like fucking when well, obviously the reputation of Game of Thrones, and then like season 1, it's like when those top sports players, when like they have a bad game, it stands out because so much is expected of them. You know what I mean?
Sure.
If HBO was a shit, you know, like streaming service, and their shows were shit, like no one would expect anything. You know what I mean? It'd be like whatever we get is great. But like they have such a high reputation, and people love Thrones and love season 1. Is like when, you know, a season of television isn't to that standard. Like it you know, stands out.
Yeah.
So I think
they did put out The Idol, so I don't know.
Matt, are you a gambler?
I dabble.
Do you actually?
Yeah, I dabble.
Okay.
I actually just placed the parlay yesterday.
But it's not like consistent, like subscribing to HBO. You would say.
No. I'd say every once in a football season, you know, but every once in a while.
Sports gambling.
You're young. You still live at home, correct?
That's right.
Okay. So you don't pay for the cable bill.
I don't.
Right.
No.
So
do pay rent, fortunately.
Sure. I hear you, which is great, and I commend you for that. What I'm saying,
for me, but
what I'm saying is that you don't pay when you're watching football.
Yeah.
You're into it and you care, and when your team loses, you're like, those bastards. We'll get them next time.
That's right.
But I'm paying $15 a month. I know it sounds dumb, like it's not a lot of money,
what you mean.
But it's not the only streaming service I have, number one. I'm paying $15 a month, so when they fail, it's worse than when Tom Brady fails, to me.
Yeah, it's your money. It's your...
This is a direct reflection of, and it's worse because it's like it takes so long. I got to wait now.
You feel
for season 3, and the only thing I'm not thinking season 1 anymore. When the season 3 trailer drops, I'm thinking, where did you leave me last time? And you left me on a shot of Rhaenyra in a field with nobody there.
It feels
what I mean?
It feels like you think that you got hoodwinked, you got bamboozled, led astray, taking advantage of. That's the feel I'm getting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that's exactly how I felt. I think it's bullshit.
Not a good feeling, huh?
It's not a good feeling. I don't like that feeling.
No one does.
And I like satisfaction. I like to feel satisfied. And let me tell you.
Completed.
Life ain't easy, okay? You got to work really hard. You got to do a lot of different things to pay bills. And if I can't get an hour of my week, not an hour of the day, hour of the week to sit there and just veg out and feel satisfied, then we got a fucking issue. And it doesn't mean, by the way, that everything needs to be a dramatic battle or that characters don't need developing plot lines or storylines. But what the fuck are we doing for $25 million? Give me the $25 million, and let me show you what I could do, what me and RJ could do with $25 million. I'll make you 17 series, 4 seasons long each with $20 million. For one chunk, one check, we'll make 5 different series. Come on, RJ, we'd kill it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just it feels like there's enough story there, but like we said, they're just not developing it correctly.
When you go into episode 8, you want to talk about episode 8?
Yeah. So the Queen Who Ever Was, that's the name of this episode. So I actually really like this scene. First, we're back on the Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah.
Corlys, he kind of
Steve
finally
Buscemi's
acknowledges.
In the background.
Yeah. He finally acknowledges Alan as his bastard son. And he's kind of like, hey, let me help you out here. And after his real son's dead now, and his wife's dead.
That was a good scene.
I thought that scene was great. I thought the performance from the actor who plays Alan was great. That little
the
fire back he had.
Yeah.
That was actually a fantastic scene.
I think the two brothers are great characters. Again, I wish we saw more of them.
I actually like them a lot. They're probably, because they were new this season, of all the new additions, they may have been my favorites. I agree. The whole brothers. I thought they were because like he's like this guy, the son. He's an honorable guy. He's had a hard life. He's kept his mouth shut. But he thinks all these things because everyone can kind of relate to that. You know what I mean? You think every day. You think that, but you keep your mouth shut. And then finally you just get to a point where just like you just you say what you have to say. And Corliss has nothing to say because he knows like the guy's right. So I did. I thought it was a very good scene.
Yeah.
Well,
go.
I just liked how he went off. Where he's like, "Listen, I'm gonna fight for Rhaenyra. I'm gonna take your orders, but I'm not gonna take your advice."
Yeah, I'm gonna do what I have to do, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Now that all your kids are dead, like I'm not like second fiddle here.
Right. It's unfortunate because I feel like all of these great little moments fall on deaf ears because of how boring the overall show is. That's all. I did like the scene.
I think it should have built up.
I did like the scene in episode 8 when Rhaenyra comes to
Harrenhal.
Harrenhal.
That was a great scene.
And I'm sitting there watching it going, give me the wide shot of everybody on their knee. Give me a wide shot. You know what I mean? They open up and the whole crowd, there's like 1,000, 2,000 people. They all go down on their knee. I thought it was fantastic. Very well done.
That was my favorite scene in the whole episode was because she goes in and there's a crowd of people and Daemon, like you just wait and he just walks through the crowd of people and they cut to his back and you just see his silver hair and his like shoulders with the armor. And you're like, oh, because honestly, like I don't know the story. Like I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't know if Daemon was like, nah, like I'm, fuck you.
Right, and he's cutting people's heads off left and right. So what if she was next? You never know.
Daemon, you really don't know. Like even though he's like with her now, like I could see easily season 3, like something happens and he like, he screws. Because she did say like, if you cross me again, like.
Which I thought was a boss line. That was great.
Like
she was like, if you
like
ever leave me again.
Asserted herself.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What the fuck? Finally. It
only
took 8 episodes.
I feel like he's going to,
Of course he is. That's just see, characters don't change.
Yeah.
They don't change, which is great.
Oh, shit. Wait, I'm sorry, RJ. You like jump all over the place.
Go.
Yeah.
Wait, do you have in your notes talking about the Lannister guy who looks like Dave Portnoy?
Yeah, that was going to be the next thing.
I was
going to
mention the Lannister guy too, yeah.
Dude, I fucking love that guy.
Go ahead, RJ. What are you going to say?
No, we can go into it. I was going to say, let's talk about Daemon's finishing.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
But I did love that scene, though, with him bending the knee.
Oh,
but
dude.
I couldn't help but feel like it should have hit more with the music and everything.
Oh, of course. But RJ, the whole show should have hit more.
I know. And even though I did like the scene, we kind of already saw that happen at the end of season 1 when they all bent the knee to Rhaenyra. Like, it seems like, again, like a lot of repetition. But I guess, we can wrap up the Daemon thing here because we get one final dream sequence.
Yes.
So he touches the weirwood. What's her name? Alice Rivers takes him out there.
I thought they were going
to the weirwood tree.
I thought they were going to
touches it. And he sees a nice trailer for Game of Thrones.
I was going to say, Daenerys.
What the fuck?
We saw Daenerys. We saw the White Walkers, the dragons dying.
Right. How do we feel about the line when he comes in to talk to Rhaenyra, right? Before he bends the knee and does all this other stuff, and he's talking in High Valyrian or whatever. How do we feel about the winter is coming line? Because I thought it was cheap as fuck. I didn't like it at all.
It did feel cheap. Yeah.
Why would you refer if I'm HBO with the reception of season 8? Don't even touch the White Walker shit. Everyone was pissed off about that. Why do you keep bringing it up?
Dude,
I want to forget about that. I have nightmares at night.
Yeah, I lose sleep.
No, you guys are so right because like the whole thing at Game of Thrones, the whole show, winter's coming. They're building it up for fucking 7 years. 7 years. Winter's the White Walkers though. The white, everyone's like, and then we got what we got. It's like they blew that. Like the White Walkers are so great. You know what I like? So like you're right, man. I wouldn't even touch the White Walkers.
And then he's like, kind of like someone needs to stand there to defeat the Night King. Arya, the Stark little kid.
Oh, I like her.
That's who you're talking. No, but I'm just saying, like, it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, no. They're kind of like the White Walkers, right? I like a punchline. Like when I rewatch Thrones, and they're like, "Ooh, the White Walkers." I'm like, "All right, well, now we know." Like, come on, come on,
get it.
Like, please, Yeah.
It.
I don't know.
We did see Brendan Rivers though.
We did. That was cool. I was surprised to see him. So, So I guess this is what I feel like that sequence like made Daemon team up like with Rhaenyra. I feel like before that he was pretty solid to like go against her.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of changed his mind until like something happens and then he just does what he does.
Right.
How did you guys interpret that moment when it ends? So it switches to he sees Helena.
Yes.
And then she's talking, but then she finishes the sentence of the Rivers girl, and then I got confused. Like, is she possessing her?
Or are they both
like, what's going on there?
Are they call it like dream seers? That's what they're called, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like her, Alice Rivers, and Helena, they're both dream seers, right?
And it crossed over.
So there was some crossover. I think there was some fusion. I think there was some crossover.
She said that line about him dying.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
She said that you were swallowed up in the God's eye and never seen again. So again, we're getting Daemon's death projected.
Yeah. Well, I think he's definitely going to die. It's just.
But there's no twist, though. There's no twist.
I'd rather not know that.
Well, you don't know for sure. Anything could happen.
What I'm saying is it'd be interesting if I want a little misdirection. I want a little bit of like, oh, Daemon's going to die over here and the God's eyeball, whatever it is.
Misdirection's good.
And then all of a sudden Rhaenyra gets a head chopped off. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see something that I didn't see coming, and that makes up for all this stuff that they're... But they don't do that. They just tell you what's going to happen, and then it happens. And they have Corlys, who, God, that ship, I'm surprised it stayed floating. They put so much shit on that ship.
It did finally leave the dock, though.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't fucking believe it.
Going to fight the pirates and Dave Portnoy.
God only knows what it was, but it took... There was a lot of... Is there anything left in the Red Keep or wherever he was getting all the luggage from? I mean, what do you have, one guy for like a year and a half packing up that boat? What the fuck? It was
salted
constant.
cod.
Yeah, whatever it was. One barrel at a time. That's how we're going to load this ship up. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
It's a big ship.
And then he stands there.
Didn't it kind of feel like this season was kind of stagnant, not just in the story, but like the characters were just in the same places? Like Rhaenyra was in Dragonstone, Corlys was at that ship, Daemon was in Dragonstone, Harrenhal the entire... Like, no one was really moving around very much.
I agree. And
minimal movement.
The issue wasn't... So, like, if you're the writers, right? So, like, let's say you have your note cards, RJ, in the beginning on your big wall, and then you're looking at it from a distance, from bird's eye, right? And you're going, wow, these characters really don't move around a lot. How should we change this? Should we add a battle? Right. No. Let's have Rhaenyra sneak back into the Red Keep. We should do that. Like, it's like they added shit in to make them move cheaper. Around. Exactly. They did stuff to make it wrong. And it was wrong. The whole thing was just not put together very well. Who left from season 1? Who was not involved in the production of this season 2?
Oh,
he was in like 2. Oh, Mikko. Yeah.
That's what.
And he got replaced by the one of the girls that you see in the end of the inside the episodes that talks.
Yep.
One of the directors. Yeah.
Big problem.
I mean, listen, we don't know what happened there, but the Deuce stuff. If he's gone and it went down, maybe he did have a bigger role than we thought.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's possible.
Well, do you want to get into Dave Portnoy now, Matt?
Yes.
I know you've been very excited.
I'm not gonna lie. I honestly forgot he was in the show. Until he popped. I think it was the first.
But we got
season.
a whole sequence in the finale with him.
I listen. Say what you want. I actually loved everything that happened there. I actually think he's a funny character because he's kind of they kind of portray him as like an idiot who's just where he is because of the Lannister name, and but I feel like deep down he's actually got a good heart, and he's actually might be more to him than meets the eye. You know what I mean? I thought it was kind of funny how he negotiated, and then the girl wants him to be the father her children, and we proved himself. I don't know. It was kind of fun. I kind of got I always like when they go to Essos because it's always a different world. It's more free. The pirates,
something different.
They're sitting there eating dinner. It's kind of cool. I like seeing the different parts of the whole universe. So say what you want. I like that part with Dave Portnoy.
I think in isolation, I did like it. I thought it reminded me more of the side missions in Game of Thrones.
It was like Essos,
when you would pull off with a random character for a minute.
Yeah, no, I liked him.
I think its place in the finale and the fact that he's barely he just sits at the table the whole first 2 seasons. It's why are we now in the finale of this season that hasn't given us anything spending 15 minutes with him all of a sudden?
Yeah, that was the first time
that's my issue.
They ever focused on him.
Yeah.
Right. But I did like it in isolation. What'd you think, Nick?
That was fucking horrible. What do you mean? What I think? It was fucking ridiculous. It was the worst. It's the worst written TV that I've seen since Hannah Montana. It's fucking bad, man. This is not a good thing.
The best of both worlds.
I'm very disappointed.
You have to be. It's still better than probably 80% of a lot of the TV that's coming out.
Of course. No, I know, RJ, but I'm,
But like we said, it's HBO. You know. We
that's the thing. That's really what it is. This isn't Disney Channel. It's not Nickelodeon in the '90s. No kids are getting touched there.
Oh.
What I'm saying is, what I'm saying is that like this is top shelf. This is Tito's. This is This is Grey Goose.
Woodman's,
you know what I mean?
Woodman's, we do Tito's.
Yeah, Woodman's a great place. But I'm saying, this is Grey Goose on the rocks. You know what I'm saying? That's what this should be. This is Johnny Walker Black Label.
Ooh.
This is, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, this is some good expensive shit, and you have reputations to uphold here, and it just goes to show that like reputations can be destroyed.
You know what happened? Season 1, they drank all the Grey Goose and they put Smirnoff in the bottle.
Yeah, that's exactly, or water. You know
That's
what I mean?
what happened.
RJ, this reminds me of like Tyreek Evans, man. Like NBA player, came out rookie year, awesome rookie year, averaged 25 and 5, rookie of the year. Everyone
sophomore slump,
and then he never really got back to his.
And that, I guess, is what I'm really concerned about. Is season 3 going to be the comeback kid? Is that going to be like the, hey, ho, wait, hold on. You sold us out. And I'll eat my words right now. If season 3 is good, I'll be right there pumped. Because, like RJ said, either the last episode or the episode before, we don't like complaining. I want to come on here and be like, did you see how sick that was? Pumped up, ready to go. Matt doesn't need any caffeine. He's just ready to talk about stuff. We need drugs. We're taking caffeine. Caffeine is a drug. We need drugs in order to have a conversation for an hour about this show because it's that bad. That's a fucking issue to me. That's all.
I will say, with as much as we've like shit on it, I do think there is still like potential and hope for season 3.
I agree with you, Matt.
You know, like,
what else could there be? There was nothing happened in season 2, except Rhaenys died.
Because
maybe she got a deal somewhere else on another show. That's why they killed her.
Because if there are 16 episodes, I mean, I feel like there's like no way it cannot. Like I do have hope for season 3.
Watch every battle be like it was in episode 3, where they cut to the end of the battle. Watch every battle from here on out be like that.
That'd be a shame.
I would be so fucking pissed.
That'd be bad.
I agree, Matt. Though.
Thank you.
Because I think if this isn't like season 8 of Game of Thrones where that was it.
Yeah.
Like it just ended on a bad note. We're still season 2. We know we have 2 seasons that they could right the ship and get back on track. But if I had a gun to my head and had to put money on whether this would continue in this track, I'd probably say it's going to because the showrunners and the writers aren't changing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the issue here. And the fact that we talked about it before, that George isn't going to be in the writer's room for season 3, that doesn't make me feel good.
I don't feel good.
Well, I'm definitely a little itchy.
So I'm hoping, but I don't know.
They definitely squandered because I feel like coming out of season 1, they had a lot of momentum. It was like, all right, Westeros is back. Like, we're back on the shit. Game of Thrones Part 2. I feel like they had a lot of momentum, and I feel like they definitely squandered it like after this season.
And we're gonna have to wait till 2026. But we did get a little teaser for the Night of the Seven Kingdoms next year, which like I'm excited about because I read that book and it's good, and I think it'll be good.
Dunkin' Egg.
But I get the feeling of like, shouldn't you get this one right before you do another one?
I'm starting to get RJ. If we're going down this realm, I'm starting to get Star Wars vibes, which I don't like.
I'm feeling force sensitive. Let me tell you.
The issue with Star Wars is what I'm worried about. It's like they kept doing it bad.
Yeah.
And if you do something bad repeatedly, but if you like, that's why I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
If House of the Dragon season 2 was great, and then they announced it, I'm like, yeah, let's keep it rolling. But now I'm like, can we take a step back, maybe?
Do we reevaluate? So this is my point. When I don't know if you guys remember or not, when we were going to review House of the Dragon season 1, we talked about it on the shows before it came out, and we have that great clip of RJ mispronouncing names of the cast when they were coming out during that time.
It's good times.
It was fantastic, and I
remember one of them was Gwaine.
Yeah,
Hightower. Remember that? Yeah.
Right, so Gawain.
Gawain.
So my point, though, in bringing that up is that I was the negative Nick the negative Nelly on those episodes, and I was saying, I don't know, you know how I feel about spin-offs. They're doing spin-offs for everything these days, blah, 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 blah. And I ate my words, and I was completely wrong, and season 1 was amazing. But now season 2 kind of makes me feel like everybody's just doing shitty spin-offs now. You know what I mean? And so do we need the dunk and egg one? Not really. You know?
Well, I also don't understand this like alternating thing. Why don't you just finish House of the Dragon, do it 4 years in a row, and then start a new one? Why are we alternating?
They just want to pump that shit out.
Because then people forget about the show. You know, like, I don't understand that at all.
Sometimes less is more. You know what I mean? Sometimes you want to leave. Right. Like I always say, I feel like I always use this analogy. Look at someone like Kendrick Lamar. You know, he'll put out an album every 4, 5, 6 years, but it's precise. That shit is A1. Yeah. That is the best of every decision, every little the detail that goes into that album. And you know what that album does? It stands the test of time. That's going to be an album people listen to 30 years from now, as opposed to a guy like Drake.
Yeah.
He'll throw out an album every year, and when it comes out that week, you hear the new Drake. That 2-3 months later, no one is listening to that Drake project because
well, he's come out with 6 since then.
It's cheap. You can tell it's not. You just kind of threw it together. There's 2 or 3 songs that everyone will bump. The kind of radio, and then everyone forgets about them. It's not going to stand the test of time.
But I'll take it a step further, bring it back to TV. I would say Drake is more like a Seinfeld. It's a sitcom, right? Where there's a ton of episodes. They take a 2-month hiatus. They're back with a ton of episodes, that kind of deal. And then you have HBO, right? So you have CBS with their sitcoms versus HBO, which is a privatized kind of, you got to pay for it separately. That's the Kendrick right there, you know? And that's why we hold it to the standard that we hold it. But like, what do we do? If Kendrick just dropped like 3 albums in a year, we'd be like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And that's kind of how I feel right now. Is the quality of the show good? Sure. I will say that over this season, and last season too, but whenever I'm really not a big fan of CGI in general, and I think this show does it perfectly. I think that this show's effects, the scenes, the settings, the dragons, the fire, all it's really well done. And I just feel like I wanted more of it, and I wanted a little bit less of the 9. Why have this be season 2? That's what I don't understand. Season 1, well, because they had to do the time jumps season 1, right? That's why. They had so much stuff. So now we have to develop these extra characters.
No, they could have done this stuff in like half a season.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like they should have. We should be technically on episode 4 right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's if you're gonna do 8 episodes, we should be on episode 4. And honestly, if we were and we cut the shit out of this show, and this was the ending of episode 8 was actually the end of episode 4, I would be like pumped. I feel. Because it would have been
or even
more, you know?
Even if this was episode 8 of a 10-episode season, and then the end of the season is the whole thing that we can talk about in a minute, is how it leaves off with Rhaenyra potentially going to King's Landing. Like, then that could be the finale, you know?
Yeah, I thought this episode was like you said, a standalone. Fine. It was good scenes. Corlys with his son, Rhaenyra and Daemon, like Portnoy, like just like as a season finale, it didn't really like leave you kind of like, oh shit. Like I wished I could watch season 3 tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like that's how I felt with Thrones seasons. Like I'd watch a season finale from Thrones. It's like I wish I could watch the next season right now.
Right.
You know,
sure.
Which I don't.
Do you want to talk about the that last brilliant scene where we leave off?
Talk about it.
Where Nick, I'm sure you were so thrilled that we escaped this season with one more final sneak into the castle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
With Allison.
Yes.
I mean.
Yeah, that was...
At that point, it was just kind of funny.
It's dubious.
Because... So they flip sides completely. Right now, you have Allison sneaking the Dragonstone and then taking the stance that Rhaenyra had earlier. Where now she wants to end the war easily. And Rhaenyra's like, what the fuck? Like, you blew your chance. Like, and here we are again with that thing. What'd you guys think of that? And how they kind of left off where Allison was basically like, hey, like, Aemon's going to be gone. While he's gone, come to King's Landing. We'll give you the throne. And then she actually says, like, you can kill Aegon.
I'll say this. I'm actually really curious, Eden, like, if that scene happens in the books. Because I feel like, I don't know. I feel like in the books, I could be wrong. Allison maybe really didn't do much in this timeline. and they looked at it as, okay, we have Olivia Cook. She's kind of like the co-lead for the show, how we advertise it with Emma Darcy. We need to give her shit to do. And she really didn't have anything. So you have the sneaking around, and they really placed an emphasis on Rhaenyra and Alicent, that kind of like connect. When really maybe for like the story George painted out, there really wasn't anything there for this timeline.
Money take.
Thanks, man. And and it was fucking stupid, to be honest with you. They've done it 17 times before. People are just crossing over in different castles. It was it was kind of stupid.
Completely undetected, mind you.
It was kind of stupid, to be honest. I like when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is what we're doing again. So I'd be really interested to know if it was in the books, and I would be surprised because I don't know. I think it was, we got Olivia Cook, get Alicent. We, advertise her as a co-lead. We need her to do shit. You know what I mean? So let's just pair with
Rhaenyra. I think Eden did say that, right? In one of the comments, that she thought the issue was that they were making the show about Rhaenyra and Alicent, but it's really an ensemble like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's how they advertised. I mean, every poster you saw for the season was Rhaenyra and Alicent. Like
they probably did the least out of anyone.
Yeah, they advertised it as, those are the two leads.
You know what scene I really didn't need that I could have just lived without forever? The Larys talking to Aegon scene. In
the cart?
I do like the Meister.
The Meister.
Well,
I like when they say Grand Meister.
Yeah, I like that too. But I'm saying when Larys goes in and they're talking about stuff or whatever, I don't need to hear that the king's dick got exploded. I don't need to know these things.
Like a
you know
sausage.
What I'm saying? Yeah, like I don't what does that add to the story? Like, and I'm telling you, the reason I bring these scenes up, right, is because they're like 10-minute scenes in an hour show, and like we're left with so many questions about other characters that it's like, did we need that scene instead of developing the daughter's death of the first cousin of Viserys? You know what I'm saying? Like, did we need these scenes? And the answer in my head is no.
But that resulted in Aegon fleeing King's Landing with him, though.
Yeah, but like what I'm saying, RJ, is like, do we need it to be like that scene as opposed to like a okay? So you're saying that like we didn't need the daughter scene. We casually mentioned that the daughter dies, but we need to hear about Aegon's dick in that scene. That's an important scene.
There's one line.
No, but you know what I'm saying, though. That's the only line.
I guess, but I honestly, I think it creates a really interesting dilemma. That's probably the one thing I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out. And that's Rhaenyra is going to go to King's Landing. Aegon's not going to be there,
right?
And she's going to blame it on Alicent. Probably she's going to be like, "You sent your son. You lied to me. You had him flee the castle." So that's going to be interesting, I think. But I wish we could see that now.
Right.
Well, yeah, it could even be interesting too if Rhaenyra goes in, she fucks shit up. You know what I mean? King's Landing. But then Aegon's over here and brought wherever he is, he raises his army. He goes, "Oh, hold on a second, hold the phone. I'm the true heir. I'm still around. Now I got an army from Bravo, Essos, wherever he goes." Could there be something? I don't know.
If Aegon's dragon is dead?
Yeah, Aegon's dragon's gone.
I feel like that thing is...
he got sliced open. Remember, he has sizzling stuff coming out of him.
Not looking great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you look at the numbers here. Rhaenyra's got, what, 7?
Well, she's got the kid at the Vale's got...
Yeah,
right?
God, I forgot about that.
I tell you, that actress, she just looks worried the whole time. She looks just petrified.
Which one is this? What are we talking?
The girl who's just running around the hills looking for the dragon the whole time.
Damon's daughter, she claims.
That girl just looks petrified. Like the entire face, I've never seen her not look like she just saw a ghost. Like the whole time.
She just saw a dragon.
Good
job,
again,
buddy. We couldn't even get resolution there. We don't even see her claim the dragon.
No, we see her find the dragon.
She found
it, claim it.
Yeah. But she found it. Maybe.
But I will say, that isn't something that happens in the books. I guess there's a separate character that gets that dragon. They wrote out.
Yeah, and that, I think that character, not to spoil things, causes a rift somewhere in Rhaenyra's team.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a big character.
It's a big character they wrote out, which is fine, but I don't know. I guess make it more interesting.
Yep, I know. All right, so where do we go from here? Hopefully, season 3 they're gonna start to have a battle, and then they'll say just kidding, and then they'll cut the credits.
Well, we had that cool sequence with all the armies marching towards battle, which again, in isolation, was cool.
This would have been a great setup for episode 9. That's all. If there were
I totally
two
agree.
more episodes, and I would have a completely different take on this entire season.
And I'd be like, oh shit, I'm ready for next week.
Yep.
It's
exactly.
true.
What do you think? What about our boy Otto? What's he doing in prison?
Who fucking knows? Who knows what he's doing?
Did we get one episode of Otto Hightower?
One in the beginning.
He was in the first 2, I think.
I mean, he's one of the most interesting characters on the show. I think his presence was definitely missed.
I thought
he would come in at the end.
I like to hate specific characters because of the character and not hate the whole show because of poor writing.
Yeah.
So like the fact that I'm even saying this is insane, but I wish Otto would have come back.
Oh, I was watching the opening theme. I never skipped I like the music. And I saw the actor's name and I'm like, "Oh, fucking finally." But then he doesn't talk. We got in 2 seconds. He looks up. He's like, "Oh shit." So I don't know what happened with him.
I will say the nice thing about that scene about the sausage exploding was the parallels between that scene with the king in bed and the first season with the king in bed. I thought those were very interesting.
Rehabilitating.
Like father, like son, the apple don't fall far, that kind of bullshit. I thought that was very interesting. But overall, am I excited for season 3? I'll give it a shot. We'll review it, I'm sure. But am I?
How are you going to feel 2 years from now, though? That's
the thing. That's the thing. Yeah. When I think of this series 2 years from now, I'm going to remember feeling like this.
Because what did they say? They said like they're shooting for summer or fall of 2026, right?
Yeah. I mean, what are we doing?
So that's 2 years. Yeah, so you're right. 2 years.
What are we doing? Now. It's it doesn't take that much. I'm sorry, I don't understand why it would take so much time.
Yeah, I think that's why they're throwing in the Dunkin' egg. Like, hey, don't forget about Game of Thrones universe before.
But to me, it's like, why are you doing that? Just do House of the Dragon next year. Like, what is it? Scheduling issues? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, they should have this shit ready to go.
I can't justify like a marketing or like just overall reason for them alternating shows.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you lose momentum and then you overstuff it.
Oh, it's like Star Wars, man. Between like the Skywalker saga, like at the end, they would have these like Han Solo and just fucking Rogue One.
Well, that's what they did wrong, right? They put a Star Wars movie out every year as opposed to every 2 to 4 years.
Just throw shit against the wall.
Then they did the shows.
Yeah, it's not all gonna stick.
If you looked at me in 2016 and asked me about Star Wars,
dude,
I'd blow up.
Dude, me and you.
I'm dead inside now with Star Wars.
Dude, me and you were at the Force Awakens fucking 4 hours early before you could buy your seat at the theater. You had to get there. You and Joe came too 4 hours early at AMC. We ran up to the back to get a good spot for Force Awakens. We're very excited.
No, they destroyed that, disintegrated it.
Yeah,
not a good thing. Well, listen, folks. It's been real.
Did we have any comments? We kind of addressed the comments.
Oh, don't we have a new fan? I looked at that. We got a new guy. He's like, I had to subscribe.
This is Rise.
I had to subscribe to you guys.
Yeah, it was kind of the same thing. Like everyone complaining about the kiss, and they felt that was unnecessary, and it makes sense that it was unscripted.
He stands with Woco Media.
So what do we do now? Now that the series is over, RJ. Not September to put you on the 19th. Spot.
I see the boys.
September 19th.
What happened September 19th? Besides my brother turning another year older.
The Penguin.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Wait, can we review it?
No, idiot. I'm setting this up.
Oh, nice.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right.
Of course we're going to fucking review The Penguin.
Oh, so is that the next show? Because they can't fit another show in between this and that.
No, they can't. But we have The Penguin coming up. We have season 3 of White Lotus is also
nice. Last of Us. I know you're kind of.
That's in 2025 though.
Oh shit.
What for White Lotus?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We're still going to review it.
And The Last of Us. They dropped the teaser.
Sure. Yeah. No,
that's
but
next year.
Listen, we complain. We're very strong opinions. East Coast, whatever you want to say. My point is, well, some of us are East Coast, but but what I was going to say though is that don't be discouraged by our takes on this series. Please come back and watch our reviews of shows that are good. If The Penguin's bad, we're gonna have big issues.
No, dude, I'm so confident.
If The Penguin's bad, I'm gonna cancel. September 8th. Okay.
So pretty much a month from now.
What day of the week is that? That's a Sunday, I'm assuming, right?
It's going to be a Sunday, 9 p.m. on HBO, which is wild. That's crazy that they're throwing a Penguin show at the
No.
See, I don't think it's crazy.
No, this show's going to be the shit.
I think it's worth it, man.
It's cool.
This show's going to be the shit, man. The Batman, he has a line in the trailer. I don't know what he says, but I think it's something to like, the city needs a leader. Or like, it's not, I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, oh, it's so good, man.
And Robert Pattinson is going to be in it.
Sure. Yeah. That's good stuff.
I
listen,
can't wait.
I can't wait. I can't wait for The Penguin.
I love the Batman.
I can't wait for White Lotus. There's a great cast coming up for that as well. And, we
Gladiator.
Figure
Yeah, they
out
got my boy Malfoy in there in the new
Draco?
season.
Oh, I didn't know.
No, not Draco, Lucius.
Lucius, yeah, Lucius
Great
is a
actor.
good guy.
Great
Yeah,
actor.
Good guy.
yep. Gave Dobby the sock. What a good guy.
You did.
know?
It is kind of funny though in that White Lotus trailer. They just throw that color grade on to let you know you're in Asia. Like that
it's a
yellow,
little-
like
It's a little yellow.
they do it all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Thailand.
It's like when you see a scene in Egypt,
Yep.
and it's like they just like it's interesting.
Yeah, or anything of like Vietnam War style stuff. They always put
Right.
that yellowy kind of.
Greenish yellow, like yeah.
Yeah, that's how you know.
Funny.
That's how you know you're in a different land.
That's how it goes.
Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, the Penguin, September 8th.
Very excited.
Yeah, we'll be back for the Penguin, definitely 100%. Do you have anything else, Matt,
That's all I got.
on this one?
You know.
RJ, do you have anything we haven't addressed regarding this bastardization of a show?
I don't know. I'm considering reading the book in the meantime. I might just do it.
Yeah, you should. You should. And well, but here's
So
the
then
problem.
maybe
then
maybe it could be
Spoilers.
helpful to have one of us be like someone who has read the book.
yeah, it could be helpful. Sure.
Yeah.
I don't see
know.
why not. I only, it's just I feel like our takes.
But then
are,
I'll just be even more mad, probably.
right.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
Maybe I'm not going to do that.
I don't know. Well, we'll figure it out. Either way,
Maybe.
like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please leave a comment down below. Are we crazy? Are we out of our minds? Did we miss something entirely? Please tell us, because I'll go back and watch it and make a new video. I will. If not, then just tell us how great we are in the comments. We appreciate that.
I like
as well.
that. I like that.
You know?
Pump us up. You know.
And if you're wondering where you can see more of us, like we just said, we'll be back for the Penguin, but you should hop on over to the Essex Street Entertainment channel and
McShane.
subscribe and watch RJ and Mike McShane talk about things that have already happened. And
That are not fictional.
right, nonfiction, hungover history podcast with Mike McShane and, of course, RJ Carreri over on the Essex Street Entertainment channel. Subscribe to them, and yeah, we love them. We love you.
We'll
we
see
love
you in
everybody.
2026.
Great
We'll
guy.
see you in 10
In
years or some shit. No, we'll see you in a month. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. RJ.
Thank you. How you doing?